Hi guys! Okay, so today we're going to take what we've learned about area. We now know that we can tile to find the area, that we can multiply length times width and use the area formula. And we're going to kind of put it all together to apply to a new skill. So today we're doing lesson 8, okay? You may have noticed that we skipped lesson 7. That's because we're getting really close to state testing and we want to make sure we have time to cover all of the important stuff. So we are going to go ahead and move on to lesson 8. So that is in page 797 in your workbook. And today we're going to talk about composite figures, okay? And a composite figure is a shape that's made up of 2 or more other shapes, okay? So basically it's a fancy way of saying a shape like this, okay? Like this shape is 2 rectangles put together, okay? That's a composite shape. So that's what we're going to talk about today, is how to find the area of composite shapes. And in order to do that, you decompose, that just means break apart, into smaller pieces, okay? So let's look at example 1. Shrubs, trees, flowers, and plants can be bought at Mr. Corley's nursery. What is the area of the nursery garden at the right? Okay, so you can see the nursery garden is a composite figure shape. And to decompose it, that just means I'm going to draw a line and break it into 2 separate rectangles, okay? So I would draw a line right there. That's step 1. Break the composite figure into smaller parts. And to help you do that, look for rectangles. Like I wouldn't draw a line right there because then I wouldn't really have any shapes. I want to have 2 actual shapes. So in this case, I have 2 different rectangles. Then we need to figure out the area of each rectangle, okay? So this rectangle has a length of 10 yards and a width of 8, okay? So 10 times 8 equals 80. So that means the area of this rectangle is 80 square yards. Okay, rectangle 2 is a little bit trickier, okay? It's 12 by 8. So I'm going to multiply 12 times 8. Lots of people don't know their 12s facts, and that's okay. So they're trying to help us by breaking it down into easier numbers. So they broke it down into 10 times 8, which is 80, plus 2 times 8, because 10 plus 2 would give me 12. So all they're doing there is breaking it into easier numbers. And 2 times 8 is 16. 80 plus 16 gives me 96. So that means the area of this rectangle is 96 square yards, okay? Now, we have one more step, okay? We found the area of each rectangle. The area of rectangle 1 is 80 square yards. The area of rectangle 2 is 96 square yards. Then, to figure out what the actual area is, we add those 2 numbers together. So, what is 80 plus 96? 0 plus 6 is 6. 8 plus 9 is 17. So that means the area of this composite figure, so the area of this shape is 176 square yards. Okay? I know that's a little bit tricky, and composite figures can be very confusing, but we're going to keep working on them. All right, so let's erase this page and go ahead and turn to the next page in your workbook. There we go. Okay, now let's look at example 2. Whew, they're stepping the game up, making it a little bit harder. So now this is our composite shape, okay? We're first going to break it into smaller parts. Remember how they said look for rectangles? So if I draw a line here and a line there, I now have how many rectangles? 3, yeah. Our first problem only had 2 rectangles. This one has 3, okay? So now we need to figure out the area of each rectangle. Okay, well I can tell that this rectangle has a length of 12, but how do I figure out how wide it is? Okay, well I know from here to here is 10. From here to here is 8. Well, I know that 10 minus 8 equals 2. So that means this little chunk of space right there is 2 meters, okay? So what is 12 times 2? Again, they broke it down into friendlier numbers. 10 times 2 is 20. 2 times 2 is 4. So that means, whoops, the area of this rectangle is 24 square meters. Now here's the cool thing about these two. They're exactly the same. So we really only have to figure out the area of one of them to know the area of both of them, okay? So I know the length is 8 meters and the width is 3. What's 8 times 3? Right, 24. Huh, that's interesting. So all 3 of my rectangles have an area of 24. So to figure out the area of this whole entire shape, there, that whole shape, I need to add 24 plus 24 plus 24. Okay, so 4, 8, 12, 2, 4, 6, 7. So 72. That means that the area of the